This call may be monitored and recorded for quality assurance.
I remember who I bought it from, to be honest with you. It may have been you guys, may have been somebody else. I don't know where the box came from. I've had it for about 4 months now, 3 months, but I haven't.
Yeah, I'm happy to take a whack at it.
All right. Okay. So if the opening that I have is 32 inches, do you know how much undersized the door needs to be? Less than 32?
Well, the question is, can I calculate it? Absolutely. So, first of all, you're going to follow the instructions. That's job one. You're going to do what the template says. So, if the conversation is, what is it? Well, that's dependent on what margin you want between the door and the jamb, and then it's also dependent on the door thickness to a certain degree. And it's also dependent on what you're going to do to the outside edges of the door, meaning leave them square, or if you're going to do a round over on the door.
Okay.
Or I should say a radius on the door.
Right. I know what you mean. Run around a bit down it. Okay. All right.
You're going to leave them square?
Let's say we're going to leave them square.
Yeah,
I'll probably have to leave a little bit wider margin.
Yeah, 3/16 will do it. If you've got an 1 3/8, 1 3/4 door, 3/16 will do it, and I can prove that in AutoCAD. Going to a quarter, it's excessive. If you want to get a 3/4 inch, diameter round over a bit and buzz that down there, okay, that's fine. You can tighten that up certainly to an 1/8. Right. But in general, if you want to just one and done, leave it at 3/16 on each side.
Okay. 3/16 on each side.
Yeah. Right. So you're a total of 3/8 prefit on the door and the width.
Okay. So you think 3/8 would get my clearance?
A total, if you're at 32, make your door 31 5/8 if you're leaving it square edge.
Okay.
That will work. What do the installation instructions say?
They don't tell you what at all.
Really?
It does not give you anything either online or in the little pamphlet that it gives you. It basically says to use a router to round over the edges, but it doesn't tell you anything of how much undersized it needs to be, whether you round the edges or not.
Yeah, I'm looking. Oh, actually, hold on. Yeah, they tell you. They tell you exactly what to do. Oh, well, I should say, you may not have the page I have. So there is a technical instructions document that does clearly tell you they want a 1/4 inch margin. That is way more than necessary. Way more. They just copied the bomber installation instructions is all they did. They copied the hardware and they copied the instructions. Stuart Jackson, who is the engineer at Bomber, who I've met personally, he's probably, shaking his closed fist at the heavens. Yeah, that's what it says, but that's way too much. 3/16 will do it, and I know that because I put it in AutoCAD.
Oh, okay, I gotcha. So basically, a little bit less, like you said, 5/8 of an inch undersized. So if I'm at 32 and I go 31 5/8.
3/8 undersized.
3/8. I'm sorry. So 31 5/8 was my ultimate answer. Is what your
net would be 31 5. Take it equally off both sides of the door when you plane it down, or if you're having your door people make it for you, whatever you're doing. Now, if how heavy is your door?
It's actually pretty heavy. It's actually an exterior door that I'm using on the inside. It's a full inch and 3/4 wide door, 1 5/8 door.
Yeah.
It's pretty thick.
Do you have to have the hold open function?
The hold open, like when you open it all the way and it stays there?
Yes.
No, preferably, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, well, there's been a measurable percentage of defect right out of the box, either making a loud noise, or I think the other problem was not closing all the way. But in this era that we're in, there just isn't. You're dealing with an offshore clone copy import, and
oh, okay. Then the Bomber is the Bomber the original?
Bomber's definitely the original, which I know that I have one of their models, one of the originals in stock, but I know they're non-hold open. And
okay.
And I only mention it because I have in the last year I've had 2 or 3 people say, "Why is this making this cracking sound? How old is it? I just bought it. Why is it not closing all the way? How old is it? I just bought it." So it's
okay.
If you have, I'm not saying you're not going to have those problems. However, there has been a 2% situation happening.
Possibility is there. Okay.
Yeah, the possibilities.
So on the instructions, it does say also and starting out on the face of the door to measure over 5/16 of an inch and draw that line. And that's where the actual mounting hinge starts. That's like the backside. So you're taking the width of the vertical on the hinge out plus the 5/16. Is that correct?
Where are you seeing 5/16? Oh, I see 5/16. You mean the reference to the edge of the door?
Yeah, on the mounting the floor hinge.
In step 3 is what you're looking at?
I'm on figure 7. Figure 7 on the
Okay. I'm with you. Yeah. Figure 7. Yeah. I have, before that page that you're on, that 2-pager you have, there's a page that goes before your 2 pages. So figure 7 is a reference to the edge of the door. Put your tape measure on the edge of the door, come over 5/16. That's going to be how far back you have to notch the stile all the way from they're missing a dimension on this, on my drawing. Yeah, they're having you just line it up. Yeah, I see it. Yeah, you come over 5/16. What would be really helpful is if you were looking at the only instructions I've ever known on these, because I think it's easier to understand. But 5/16 over from the edge of the door is how far over you have to mortise the edge of the door all the way through the thickness.
But is that 5/16 plus the thickness of the hinge, or is it just 5/16? Because it looks like on figure 7 that they're lining the backside of the vertical part of the hinge up with that line, and then going 5/16 plus the thickness. Let's just call it another 1/8 of an inch, maybe a little bit more, 3/16. If that makes sense.
Yeah, you are not adding the thickness of that plate. They're just having you use the hardware itself as a means by which to run a pencil across. Okay.
So it's not a 1/2 inch; it's just 5/16 of an inch.
It's not 5/16 plus the thickness of that steel. That's not your mortise depth. Okay. Yeah, so I would suggest that in my website you type in DASH95, hit enter, and then go to the very top item that comes up, and scroll down and look for template/instructions. Page 2 is the part that you might say, "Oh yeah, that helps. That helps." because
we're on dash 95.
It's missing a
right
dimension, which you should be able to use the hard. Well, is it? You can always look at the Bomber original instructions as a reality check. I don't know that the prep is identical.
Okay.
It possibly is.
Okay.
What's most important? Yeah. Well, let's see your figure.
So
Yeah. They're flushing the bottom of that hardware to the bottom of the. No, they're just putting it on the floor and having you use it as a straight edge. That's why that dimension's not there. So
let me go back for one quick second. Put in your website, I put in DASH95, and then what am I clicking on from there?
Type in DASH95, hit enter, and then click on the very first item that comes up.
Okay. And like anything came up. Let me see.
No space, no dash, just DASH95.
DASH95.
Describe to me the first item that comes up.
It says dash BPU 108 or 10B, whatever that may be.
No. Scroll down and look for a Deltana item that's DASH95, and then might have something after it.
Look for DASH95. Might have something after it. Here it is right there. Wait for DASH95.
Find a Deltana product that has a photograph of the hardware, and the part number is Deltana-95, and then more after that. U something.
Okay. We'll find it. He's having a hard time scrolling through and finding it. I don't know what. He's scrolling too fast for me to see it, so I can't.
The problem is your results are different than mine because because of the way that I have the site working. Let's try this. Bear with me one moment. In that search box top center, type in the $, which is above the 4 on the keyboard.
Okay.
And then 157.80. So 157.80. $157.80. And then hit enter. Well, just hit enter. Okay. And let that sucker run for a good 10 seconds. And let me know when the page loads. That will take a few seconds to run.
Okay. Okay. Now I see the picture.
Go ahead
with the gold plates
and click on that. Yeah, click on that item. And when the next page loads, scroll down. Look on the right side to the file called template/instructions, and fire that up. Fire that up. Go to page 2.
Now we're with you, my friend.
Yeah.
Okay.
And you're looking for step 3.
Step 3. Okay.
Kind of illuminates what you're doing on that.
Yeah, that's clearly not what is shown to me on the paper. That's okay.
I over my life, I was checking into an Airbnb yesterday, and I'm at the door, and the code doesn't work. And I said to myself, go back and read not what you expected or think it to say. Read what it actually says. And once I did that, it was, so when you look at your figure 7, you're like, oh, okay, I see what they're doing. It's just unorthodox. Now, since we're on the phone, what is super crucial is at the bottom of step 3, where you see 9/16. That's think of that as not optional. Think of that as mandatory. So you got to have an 11/16 pre-fit in the height. So finished opening height minus 11/16 is your net door height. That's going to give you an 1/8 at the top and 9/16 at the bottom. That quarter inch, that 3/16 we're talking about, you can play with that, but that 9/16 at the bottom, you can't play with.
Yeah. Gotcha. Okay. Yeah, because you got the pins to go in on the top.
You do, but
right.
But that floor plate
Right.
and all that mechanism, there's no adjustability obviously in that.
Right. Right, and that's where it sits. Okay.
That's where it sits. Exactly.
Yeah. Which means the little return or the little bottom piece that's about, I don't know, an inch, the tab, that's got to get notched out of the bottom of the door.
Yes. Well,
yeah.
I mean, do you have to do that? No, but, we have to adjust accordingly, but I don't see why you wouldn't notch it. You're already notching everywhere else.
Right. Right. I'm with you. Okay. This is an odd question, or kind of, I think I know the answer, but I'm going to bounce it off you anyways. Because I'm pretty good on the mechanism, and I'm good on the top as far as finding center and all that stuff. On the cover plate, they give you 4 screw holes, and it looks like.
How many can you actually use?
Right.
Yeah, no, you're right. It's that simple. And I had said to Stuart Jackson, I get it all the time. These guys are like, I got empty holes, and Bomber paints with a pretty broad brush, or they used to. And what I've told customers to do, stick those 2 screws in a vise and cut it with a hacksaw and get some super glue.
Yeah.
Just to make it. And it'll be quite the joke on the carpenter in 50 years when he goes to pull it off. It'll be, leave a written note on the back of the plate. Ha ha, got you.
All right. Well, those instructions are extremely helpful, and I'm thankful very much that you answered everything that I've called you on. And
awesome.
Thank you again. That's all I can say. I appreciate it.
I'm glad you called. Bye-bye.
Have a great day. Bye-bye.
Thank you for watching, and if you've enjoyed this video, please click thumbs up, please subscribe, and maybe even send the video to someone that you know. Thank you.